When you're setting up and configuring virtual networks within Windows Azure, there is a very nice feature that you can make use of, especially in the event that you are just using a trial subscription or just maybe testing things out to make sure that they work for your requirements. Once you've completed any kind of configuration on any network configuration, what you can do to easily recreate that or redeploy that, or as I said, moving maybe from a testing environment to a production environment, you can export the configuration of your network. So what you see here is I've got 3 virtual networks set up. One that's just sort of a regular virtual network with a virtual machine hosted on that one. And then I've got 2 other ones that have VPN connectivity. So particularly with the VPN ones, you might have done extensive configuration to this. So for example, if I just go and look at the dashboard, we can see that what we have set up here is our clients to access the virtual gateway. We have the gateway address. We've got the package already downloaded and installed. Under the configure option, we've got the IP address configuration all set in here, and the gateway subnet, and of course the gateway itself has been set up back on our dashboard. Certificates have been uploaded and installed. So there's quite a number of steps involved in setting up any kind of virtual network. So now that we have this, what we can do is simply export this configuration to a file. And then what that allows us to do, obviously, is to re-import that configuration so that if we are moving it from a testing to a production environment, we don't have to go set up everything manually all over again. So let's have a quick look at how that option works. So we're going to select this one here, which is our VPN that has point-to-site configuration done. So simply click on the export option. And then if you do have more than one subscription, you'll see a drop down here, but we just have our free trial subscription. So we just have to hit OK. And it's just going to save networkconfig.xml. And we can save this, and obviously we might want to give it a more meaningful name so that we can recreate it and recognize it a little more easily. So maybe let's do the point to site vmnet config. And we'll just throw it on the desktop. So very little to that. So that has already been completed. So we can close our option here. And we can just quickly have a look and see what that created for us. There it is, point to site vmnet config. And we can just double click on that and open that with a Notepad editor. And obviously you can see in here is what we have are all of the configuration options for that network. So everything is being described in here, and we can obviously make adjustments to this if necessary. So for example, the name, call that whatever you want to. The address prefix, you can make your changes there if you want to. You'd have to make sure that that remained consistent, but we can make whatever changes we want to if we were going to re-import this, or we can just re-import it as is and then of course make changes from that point. So now that we have that, it just makes it very easy for us to reset up a new network. So let's go back into Windows Azure. And let's just imagine that nothing was created. Again, if we've moved from our trial subscription to a production one, and we now want to pull that in, we can still leave these ones here. But what we're going to do is just go to New, choose our new virtual network, and then right here you see is the option to import a configuration. So all we have to do is browse for that file. Select the point to site vmnet config, open that one, next, and then building your network. You see the import result in the following changes to the network configuration. Basically tells you what is actually going to be the result of importing this file. So we're just seeing an update happen here, and it's going to import that file. Now, in this case, again, we didn't make any changes, but obviously what we would want to do would be to modify or start from scratch. But any kind of network configuration that you have can then simply be re-imported, and you don't have to go through all of that manual configuration process to get yourself a new virtual network.